Dear students, I invite you to the English video class. In today's English video class, we are going to read a poem, MACAVITY, the Mystery Cat, written by the poet T.S. Eliot. Now tell me, what are the common names that you are familiar with? In Cartoon Network, yes, Tom and Jerry. So Tom is the common name given to cat. And now in your mobile phones, you have a video app, My Talking Tom. So there also Tom. Tom is the very common name given to cats. And here our poet has given a name, MACAVITY. MACAVITY, the mystery cat. What do you mean by mystery? Something not easy to understand. The dog may be wonderful prose, but only the cat is poetry. This is a French proverb. What does the proverb say? The dogs are a work of art, but cats are a masterpiece. Both prose and poetry are very good works of art, but poetry attracts people with its sweet rhymes. Here, cats are compared to poetry as they attract people much. Can you think of unique qualities of these animals? Let me give you an example. First, dog. Dogs are jealous of their owners. What do you mean by jealous here? Jealous means being possessive. When the owners show their love to others, these dogs don't like it. So they are jealous of their owners. And next, cat. Cats have powerful night vision. They are able to see very well at night. And wolf. Wolves educate and care their younger ones. Elephant. African elephants, they understand and identify languages. So you can find some of the qualities of these animals and write it in your textbook. Now let's have a glance about the poet T.S. Eliot. Thomas Stearns Eliot was an American-born British poet. He was an essayist, publisher, playwright, critic, and an editor. He was a pioneering poet of the 20th century. What do you mean by pioneering here? Pioneering means helps one open up a new thought or method. One who gives new thought to the society. He graduated from Harvard University. He studied Indian philosophy and Sanskrit. He won the Order of Merit and he got the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1948. His popular poems are The Wasteland, Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, Ash Wednesday, Naming of Cats, and another important one, Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats, is a collection of light poems by T.S. Eliot to young audience. Do you have pet animals? Do you like cats? Now tell me, what are the common mischiefs that you find in a cat? The most common is milk missing from our kitchen. Next, non-veg food items missing from our dining table. Breaking our flower pots, breaking our fish tanks. So here, MACAVITY, the cat, is created as a criminal, as a villain, as a lawbreaker. Look at these pictures. The color of the cats are in ginger. Shall we read the poem? MACAVITY is a mystery cat. He is called the Hidden Paw, for he is the master criminal who can defy the law. He is the bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad's despair. For when they reach the scene of crime, MACAVITY is not there. Now, after reading these lines, what catches your attention immediately? Yes, the rhyming words. In the first two lines, you see the words po, lo, not pa. It should be pronounced as pa, lo. So these two rhymes together. Then despair, there. These two rhymes together. So what is your rhyme scheme of these 4 lines? A, B, B. This is the rhyme scheme. This gives the poem a beautiful effect. Now, what are the names Macavity known for? There are some other names are given to Macavity. What are they? A mystery cat. Here, look at the words M and C are in capital letters. So this is also a name. And the next one, Hidden Paw. What is mystery? Something not easy to understand. And what's it? Hidden Paw. Sometimes you see him in one place and then search for him moments later, you cannot find him there. He escapes the spot very quickly, very cleverly, and his bad actions or villainous actions are not known to anyone. Moreover, his name Macavity, if it is divided, cavity remains. What do you mean by cavity? Cavity means a hole or absence of something. Macavity absents himself from the crime spot. So, the poet describes him as the master criminal because he disobeys the law. He has become a total confusion to Scotland Yard and flying squad. What is Scotland Yard? It is the headquarters, a place of London Metropolitan Police Service. Look at this picture. This is the headquarters of New Scotland Yard. What do they do? Scotland Yard and flying squad, they catch criminals. Who is flying squad? A police force who are quick in action. What do you mean by bafflement? Confusion, not easy to understand. Here Macavity is very clever and mischievous, so even the specialized forces, Scotland Yard and flying squad, are not able to catch him. Whom do actually Scotland Yard catch? Only criminals. So here our poet Eliot beautifully and aptly describes Macavity as master criminal. Here Macavity is doing all criminal activities. And now what is the main poetic device present here? The main poetic devices are anaphora and epistrophe. Anaphora is the repetition of word or phrase. The name Macavity is repeated many times in many stanzas. Epistrophe is the repetition of word or phrase at the end of a clause or sentence, here at the end of the stanza. Now let's move on to the stanza 2. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. He has broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His power of levitation would make a fakir stare, and when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. Again, after reading the lines, what do you find? Rhyming words, because that gives the poem a beautiful effect, musical, rhythmic effect to the poem. Macavity, gravity, stare and there. Okay, and here in the first line, you have Macavity repeated 3 times. And he breaks human law. To whom is law meant? Law is meant for human beings. Only human breaks law. Here the poet transfers the human activities to a cat. Next, breaking the law of gravity. Gravity means earth attracts any object towards it. But here, Macavity, after doing all criminal activities, will not come down there, but he escapes the spot within a second. Not only this, Macavity has special powers. What's that? Even a fakir wonders at his special powers because the cat's levitation surprises the fakir. What is levitation? Levitation means floating in the air. By severe meditation, sages or monks raise their body from the earth's surface. Who is a fakir? Fakir is a sage or holy person having special powers. In this poem, the fakir wanders at Macavity. Why? Macavity is seen here at this minute, but within a fraction of a second, it's seen in upstairs. Now look at these pictures. The first one, the common man is raising his body above the stone bench. Second one is the fakir, a holy person. It has been humorously written by the poet. All the human qualities also given to him. And at the end of the stanza, you see, repetition is seen. When they reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. This line is repeated. As it comes in the end, it said epistrophe. So this poetical device is used to create rhythmical effect in poems. Now let's move on to stanza 3. You may seek him in the basement, you may look up in the air, but I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. Macavity is a ginger cat. He is very tall and thin. You would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are sunken in. Again now, what do you see here? What are the rhyming words? The first two pair, that is here and there. Second two, thin, in. So again, you have the same rhyme scheme cleverly portrayed by the poet. Where can Macavity be seen? In basement. What is a basement? A floor or building partly or completely below the ground level. Underground, you can say. You may see him in underground, and in no time it's seen in upstairs or in the roof of the house. Again in the second line you have the phrase Macavity is not there. This is repeated. This poetical device is anaphora. Now his appearance is given. What do you mean by ginger cat? The color of the cat is ginger. He is very tall and thin. Here we have alliteration. Initial consonants are same. Letter T. Those are same. Thin, tall and thin. And his eyes are sunken in. What's the meaning of sunken in? His eyes are lowered, hollow. Look at the picture carefully. His eyeballs are just inside the hollow. It seems like that. Now let's move on to stanza 4. His brow is deeply lined with thought. His head is highly domed. His coat is dusty from neglect. His whiskers are uncombed. He sways his head from side to side with movements like a snake. And when you think he is half asleep, he is wide awake. Again, what do you find in the 4 lines? The rhyming words. And now, here also his appearance continues. His brow is lined, his head is domed, his coat is dusty, his whiskers are uncombed. These are his appearance. Why is his brow deeply lined? Because he thinks deeply. Does an animal think? No. Only humans think. Now look at this picture. The cat's head is rounded and shown to you. That is domed. What's the meaning of domed? Rounded shape. That is shown here. His head is highly domed. Here you have alliteration, head and highly. And domed shape means here rounded shape. His coat is dusty, then he is not clean. His whiskers are uncombed. Coat means here not a real coat, but it is referred to his furry skin of a cat. Furry means thick hair growth on its body. Whiskers are long hairs that grow near its mouth. It is also rounded and shown to you. Who will actually comb hairs? Only human beings. So many human activities are said of this cat. He sways his head. What does sway mean? Moving slowly from side to side. His movements are like a snake. Here we have simile, like a snake. Here we have the poetical device, figure of speech, simile. And he is pretending, he is acting, he is pretending to be asleep well, but when we go near him, no, he is not sleeping at all. He is wide awake. So this cat is very clever, very mischievous, very cunning, acting. Let's move on to stanza 5. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. For he is a fiend in feline shape, a monster of depravity. You may meet him in a by street, you may see him in the square, but when a crime is discovered, then Macavity is not there. Again, look at the rhyming words. Macavity, depravity, square, there. Again, the same rhyme scheme has been followed by the poet very cleverly. There is no one like Macavity. Again, this line is repeated as it comes in the beginning of the stanza. This is said to be anaphora. It makes the poem more effective. Now, who is fiend? Devil-like or demon. In Tamil, we can say pisasu. So, devil in the cat form. He is, on the whole, a monster of depravity. Monster means giant-like, very big. And depravity, evil or bad qualities. So here the poetical device, metaphor is used. Not any other comparison. Still, it is said very clearly, he is a monster. He is a monster of depravity, all evil qualities, all the bad qualities in him. One can see him here and there, and after committing all the evil doings, he hides very quickly. At the end of the stanza, you have the phrase, Macavity is not there. Again, it is repeated. This is epistrophe. What is the rhyme scheme you find? Again, A, B, B. What is the poetical device used in the first line of the stanza? Who is a fiend? Who is called a monster of depravity? And where do you see him? Look at this picture. This is the fiend in feline shape. What do you mean by feline? Feline is cat. Feline is cat. Fiend is demon or devil-like. This cat looks in the same way. Now let's move on to stanza 6. He is outwardly respectable. They say he cheats at cards, and his footprints are not found in any file of Scotland Yards. And when the larder is looted, or the jewel case is rifled, or when the milk is missing, or another pig has been stifled. Again, after reading these lines, what do you find? Again, rhyming words. The first two, cards, yards. Third one, rifled, stifled. They say he cheats at cards. What do you mean by this? Can a cat play cards like human being? But it is given in that way. That is human traits, gunangal, given to this cat. Here, cheating is a character or a trait, cheating others while playing cards. Does an animal play cards? No. So, this is personification. And his footprints are not found in Scotland Yard. Actually, whose footprints do Scotland Yard collect? They collect only criminals. Do they get the footprints of Macavity? No. And why? Because it escapes very cleverly without leaving any proof. What are the crimes done by this Macavity? Looting larders, damaging or spoiling jewel cases, milk is missing, Peke is stifled. What is a larder? Look at this picture. This is a large cupboard for storing food. And what is looting? stealing things. Look at this picture. This is a jewel case. And what is a Peke? It's a kind of dog. Look at that picture. It's a short-legged dog. So Macavity disturbs or dominates or beats these small dogs. In this stanza, what figure of speech do you find? Personification. Now let's move on to stanza 7. Or the greenhouse glass is broken and the trellis past repair. Aye, there is the wonder of the thing, Macavity is not there. And when the Foreign Office find a treaty is gone astray, or the Admiralty lose some plans and drawings by the way. After reading the lines, what do you find here? Very first, you all like it? What's that? Yes, repair, there, astray, way, the rhyme scheme. Cleverly, the same rhyme scheme has been followed. His evil doings again continue. Greenhouse glass is broken. What is a greenhouse glass? Look at this picture. It is a structure with walls and roof made of glass. So Macavity breaks this glass and spoils it. And he breaks the trellis also. It's a framework of light wooden bars used as a support for creepers. Foreign Office find a treaty is gone. Foreign Office, it's a very well-built office. Nobody can enter easily, but our Macavity can. So there the treaty is missing. What is a treaty? It's a written agreement between two countries regarding business or peace and some movements. Here, Macavity spoils or damages these important papers. Not only that, Admiralty lose his plans and drawings. Admiralty is a government department which controls the British Navy. This is the plans and drawings of the Navy. Our engineers, they do it before building houses, plans and drawings, they make it in paper. So likewise, the important papers of Admiralty also missing, that is, Macavity spoils those papers. Now let's move on to stanza 8. There may be a scrap of paper in the hall or on the stair, but it is useless to investigate. Macavity is not there. And when the loss has been disclosed, the Secret Service say it must have been Macavity, but he is a mile away. Now after reading the 4 lines, what do you find here? Yes, the rhyming words, stare, there, say, away. So again, what is the rhyme scheme you find here? A, B, B. Macavity makes all the places dirty because there may be bits of papers in the hall or on the stair. But can we question Macavity? No, we can't. Of course, we know that it is the crime of Macavity, but he is not there. So even the Secret Service confirms his crime, he will be a mile away. So who is the Secret Service? They conduct investigations. They help police force to catch the criminals. You will be sure to find him resting or licking of his thumbs or engaged in doing complicated long division sums. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. There never was a cat of such deceitfulness and suavity. One can find him very near to us taking rest or licking his thumb or doing some complicated division sum. What do you mean by complicated division sum here? Making some mess or spoiling or damaging. On the whole, there is no one like Macavity. He is cunning, full of deceitfulness and clever in escaping from the spot. Being never caught several times, he becomes more confident. What is deceitfulness? Being dishonest, being fraud. And what is suavity? Being very confident. Why he has become very confident? By being never caught several times by the specialized forces. Now let's move on to the stanza 10. He always has an alibi and 1 or 2 to spare. At whatever time the deed took place, Macavity was not there. And they say that all the cats whose wicked deeds are widely known. I might mention Mungojerrie, I might mention Griddlebone, or nothing more than agents for the cat who all the time just controls their operations, the Napoleon of Crime. Here, only in this stanza, you have 6 lines. One is given within bracket, but you see the rhyme scheme here. A, B, known and bone, time, crime, C. What do you mean by alibi? Having proof that one is not in the crime spot. The poet says that all the wicked cats of the world, that is, he has given 2 names, Mungojerrie, Griddlebone, are agents of Macavity. So, as Macavity controls many others, he is rightly called by the poet the Napoleon of Crime. In this poem, totally Macavity is described as a master criminal, as a very great villain or lawbreaker, not as a common cat. What is Macavity's nickname? His nickname is Hidden Paw. Which law does Macavity break? Macavity breaks law of gravity. What makes the fakir stare? The fakir stares at the levitation of Macavity. Describe Macavity's appearance. He is tall and thin. His eyes are sunken in. His coat is dusty. His whiskers are uncombed. His head is domed. And his brow is deeply lined. Does the poet talk about a real cat? No, the poet does not talk about a real cat. What is Scotland Yard? Scotland Yard is the headquarters for London Metropolitan Police Service. What does he pretend to do? He pretends to be asleep. Why is he called the Hidden Paw? Because one time we can see here, within a fraction of a second, we cannot see him. So he absents himself from the crime spot. What is the rhyme scheme used in the poem fully? A, B, only in the last stanza, A, B, C. Once again, you have to read the poem loudly so that you can enjoy the rhythmical quality given in this poem. I hope you enjoyed this class. Thank you.